Hey everyone, welcome back to the JavaScript course. So in this video, we'll be looking into the JavaScript local storage. Okay. So if you find this interesting, let's get started right away. So in this video, we'll be exploring about the local storage part inside of JavaScript. So inside my VS Code, I opened up my index.html file, my style.css file, as well as my script.js file. Okay. So there is some basic boilerplate code present inside my index file over here. And inside my style.css file, there is some basic styling given, and there is a basic console.log message inside my script file. Okay, so now let's start exploring about what is local storage inside of JavaScript. So that is the first question, which is what is local storage. Okay, so basically local storage is a kind of data storage that is present inside of the web browsers that we have, and it is basically used to store data, and this kind of data is persistent. Okay, so let's say we have a e-commerce website, and there are many things, there are many functions and tasks and implementations that are being done inside our e-commerce website. Okay, so let's say we have a basic cart, and then we have some items that are that have been added into the cart. Okay, so let's say after you add some items into the cart and then you pretty much close that particular window on the website, that means all the data should be gone, right? So if you use local storage, that would have not happened, because it is going to store that data, and it makes the data persistable, right? So that's the reason we use local storage, and there are different methods of local storage as well. So that's the main usage of local storage, to keep the data persistent in every websites. Okay, so we make use of local storage and we initialize local storage, and it is in the form of basically the key value pairs that we will include basically to store any kind of value that we have. Okay, so firstly we'll be looking into let's say different kinds of methods that is there inside of local storage, that is to fetch the item, to get the item. Okay, so the first one we have is the get item. So we're going to say methods in local storage. Okay, yeah, so the first one is the get item. Okay, so the get item method is to basically, okay, so before going into get item, let's write set item. Okay, so the first method is the set item method. So basically the set item is used to set the value inside of local storage. So set item methods basically take the key value pairs. So based on the particular key, we give a particular value that needs to be stored inside of the local storage. Okay, so that's it about the first one, that is the get item, the set item. So the second one is the get item method. Okay, so this get item method is just opposite of the set item method. So this get item method is used to access the value from the local storage if we want. Okay, so this is accessible with the help of the key we gave in the set item method. Okay, so this is gonna have basically the key value pair like this, and this is accessible, okay, so based on the key. Okay, so we just write the key, and based on this key we just get whatever the value we initialized inside of our set item method. Okay, so the next thing we have is basically remove item method. Okay, so this remove item method is basically used to remove a particular kind of data that is stored inside of a local storage based on the key value that we give. Okay, it is similar to get item method. So it's going to remove the item based on the key value like this. Okay, so this was about the third method. Actually the method number 2 and method number 3 are similar. So basically this is used to fetch the data, that is retrieve the data from the local storage based on the key. So this is used to remove a particular item from the local storage, again based on whatever the key we have given while setting that particular item. Okay, so the final method is, I think, the clear method. So this is gonna be clear. Okay, so this is basically gonna clear the data from the local storage. Okay, so clear the data from the local storage. Okay, So now let's look into an example and let's actually store some data into the local storage, and then let's try retrieving it. Okay, and also some browsers will not have access to the local storage, so you can actually check out the official docs to know which browsers is going to have the access and which are not going to have. And of course Chrome is going to have the access to this. Okay, so we'll be making use of basically if else condition basically. So we're going to say if we'll be accessing the type. So type of storage will be accessing the storage method over here. So if type of storage is not equal to undefined, okay, in this case that means our web browser is going to have access to the local storage method, right? So we'll be firstly setting the value in local storage. Okay, so basically we'll be gonna say local storage dot set item. Okay, so this is gonna take basically the key value pairs as I told. So we're gonna say first, let's give the first, and let's give any key which says hello world like this. Okay, so save the file, and after after setting this particular item inside of our local storage, so the next thing we do is we're gonna retrieve the item. Okay, we're gonna say retrieve the data from the local storage as such. Okay, so save the file. So we're gonna access basically this ID, that is ID of result. Okay, we're gonna say document dot get element by ID of result. Okay, is the spelling right? Let's just hope it's correctly, and let's just copy it and paste it. Okay, not to make any errors, paste that over here. Okay, so document.getElement by ID of result dot inner HTML equals to will be showing local storage dot get item. Okay, so as I already told, so the get item is gonna work. Okay, so it's gonna access the item based on the key. Okay, so basically over here it's going to take the key. Okay, so the key that we have provided while setting the item is first, so we'll be providing first over here. So let's write first. Okay, save the file. So if in case our browser is not compatible, we're just going to say console.log text which says console.log your browser is not compatible, something like this. Okay, with local storage. Okay, so if in case it's not gonna work, we're pretty much gonna console.log this message. Okay, and save the file. Okay, so basically in the if else condition, we are firstly checking if we have access to the local storage in our web browser. So if it becomes true, that means if we have access, that is if this condition becomes true, then basically we are gonna set the item that is basically based on the key value pair. So in this case, the key is going to be first and the value is going to be hello world. Okay, so after setting, we are just retrieving that and showing it inside of our web page. Okay, so we are accessing the ID of result, and inside the inner HTML we are just accessing it. Okay, so it's going to be local storage or get item. So the way to access this is of course to firstly provide the key. So the key that we used while setting the item was first, so that's the reason I've put first over here. So else in the else condition, we're just going to console.log the message which says your browser is not compatible. Okay, so we should be seeing hello world inside our console. So let's check that out and let's save the file, and over here, there you go. So everything is saved and we can see hello world in the console. So even if I refresh the page, nothing should happen, and that value is persistable, right? So just to check how exactly it is stored inside our web page, let's go to inspect and let's check out our sources basically. Okay, sources, or I think it should be there in memory. Nope, yeah, it should be there in application, right? Yeah, so there you go. So if you come to application, you have storage, you have something called as local storage with a drop down. So let's press on the drop down, and this is our URL, right? So there you go. So the key is first name, the key is first, and basically the value is hello world. Okay, so there was another key that was stored previously, that is first name, and the value was ln. Okay, So that's the way this thing works inside of local storage. Okay, so that's the way these two kinds of values are stored in the form of key value pairs inside of the local storage. Okay, so I think that's it about the basics about the local storage inside of JavaScript. Okay, so I think that's it about this video. So let's see you in the next video, and then thank you for watching.